Hello everybody, this is Minnie. I really don't have much of a tutorial today. I've been working on the Mustang wagon, getting it ready for a show that is coming up. So I really haven't done a whole lot as of preparing for a Q&A. So basically I'm just sitting here at the bench. Been building the last couple days. The show is Saturday. Well, I have to enter on Saturday. The show is Sunday, so I'm kind of thrashing on getting this done. It hasn't been easy. I've come into a few complications. Do you get a price or a prize? Oh, how you doing? What is that? Hey, Minnie, gotta go, man. Sorry, not gonna make the show this. Oh, dang. Well, okay, Daryl, but man, I hope you're doing well, and I hope your son is well. Yeah, I'm trying to get things done for the show. I started working on the interior. I still got to do some flocking. Then I'm going to do some subs. I'm going to put a sub here and a sub here. Looking at some pictures online, some of these are 4 vents, and some of these are 2 vents on each side, and the 2 gauges in the middle. I got the GPS working. I got gauges there. I made a ball shifter. Got the seats detailed and whatnot, and I started detailing the wheels. Right now I'm working on the body, trying to get it done and what have you. I guess I could talk to you guys about black washing. I only black wash areas that I want to pronounce, to make it look like it would open or have a working spot, I should say. Just trying to get some stuff. I'm doing some detailing stuff, but here's where I'm at right now. I had several issues in the paint with this, so I ended up having to sand the hood out and the roof. You can still see a little bit of sand marks, but I made a roof rack, and since I've had so much problems with this, I made a surfboard for the roof rack, and I call it Bad News. It seems like I kind of rushed this build in, and it's not going the way I had planned, but I got the front grills in. You guys remember I shaved off the kit bumper here and molded my own marker lights in. Yeah, I'm doing the same thing, Jay. Here's the update so far on mine. Then the tail light panel I was working on with clutch, I ended up going completely across, and instead of having lenses on the inside, I'm going to have to bring the lenses up to the outside. It's still, right now I'm trying to detail and doing the headlights right now. I got to get some detail on there. But let me show you guys how I do my black wash. You can make a black wash. This right here is with alcohol. I put a 50-50 base with alcohol and water, and then I did 50. So basically I did 1 part water, 1 part alcohol, 2 parts paint, basically, with this. But the alcohol stands out. I think I put too much in it. So, like, I already black washed the hood, and what it does is it gets into your jams here and makes it look functional. Don't make it look like it's laid in there, you know, because underneath it's just solid. So what I do when I do the wash, get bubbles from shaking it up. So what I do is I get a clean brush, and all you got to do is take a little bit. You kind of don't want the bubbles in your paint. So what I do is I'll put that back on the mirror. I get me some, and then basically you just dip it in the jam, and it goes into that jam where it will fit. This right here, I might have too much clear on this damn car. I was having issues, guys, left and right with this. And then I wipe it off and see how it stays in there. You know, you get it, if you get it right and thin, you can get it down in there. And then it just gives you an accent as if, you know, you put a little shadow in there. Some people wash with a color of the body. You know, that works too. I don't let it stay on there too long. I get it on there, and then I get it off. Just because I don't want it to stain anywhere else but that jam. Get you guys back in camera. Jay, I don't know if my activator's gone bad or if my clear's gone bad, but man, it was looking so good, and then all of a sudden it blisters in certain spots. So I stopped what I was doing. I filled it all in. I went back and, you know, color sand, tried to get everything fixed back to where I needed it to be. Thought it was fixed, went back and painted it, and then the same spots, the same problems. So it looked great until I put clear on it. But see, after you do the wash, it just adds a little bit of definition into the jams to make it look like, you know, it's a optional thing. What the hell were you trying to build, Jay? Man, Jay, the worst part about this weekend, this is the first year I'm going to have absolutely no spending funds. My van broke down just the other day, and what little extra I thought we was going to have got spent on fixing all that. So this year, no shopping for me unless I have, usually there's a regular person that usually comes in. I'm going to show you guys something different. There's usually a guy that comes in, and he likes my built-ups, guys, so sometimes he'll buy a built-up or two for me. If that be the case, then maybe I will get some funds, but as of right now, none at all. I pick up this ink pen sometimes, the Precision Roller, and sometimes you can use it to get your jams in. That's something else I wanted to show you. Hello, Punch. And if you got a jam that ain't deep enough to accept paint, maybe you guys can sometimes try to roll it. Get it in there with an ink pen. Now the ink pen's not working. What's up, Matt? Yeah. Now the dang ink pen, see what I mean? You can use a Sharpie, guys, but sometimes the Sharpies are too thick. Let me see if I can't get my black Sharpie out. Where's my black Sharpie? Here's my gray Sharpie. Wonder if that will work. And then sometimes you could use your Sharpie if you wanted to get down to it. But what I don't like about the Sharpie is sometimes you get a stroke. You'll get a stroke version of it. And right here, see how when you do your line, it gives you the impression that you have, you know, some definition in there. And that way right there, it actually looks like, you know, you got a functioning unit, functioning door unit. You know, that there, you know, gives you a little bit of instinct. So basically, you can use the wash, you can use a paint, and what I would do with the paint is usually go, that's right here is water-based, so usually what you do is I'll put a drop of this down and a drop of water in it and then mix it together. And then, but basically, you know, you can wash the lines if you wanted to. I don't want to do the lines right here. I just want to do, the hood and the doors. Now we can move on to the headlights. Now I wanted to transition in the headlights. I didn't want to go flat black. I'm gonna do gunmetal on that. So let's get the gunmetal out. I got steel, gunmetal. All right, I got the gunmetal gray. And then what I'm using for a paint palette, guys, is just a square mirror. Jay, how many are you taking, bud? Right here's just a bit of distilled water. Hello, Solemn. And then now I already took the Molotow chrome pen. I put it in there. And then what I'm going to do is come in here and start detailing the headlight. I'm going to try that without thinning it. It looks to be too thin on this clear. One thing I enjoy about this hobby, like today, me and Steve yesterday, me and Steve Courtney were talking, and he had mentioned that he had just painted a truck, a Ford Lightning, a bright red, like this car's a bright red. And it's funny how we all at this, we build different items at different times, but sometimes we end up doing the same thing every now and again at the same time. And it's just cool that we can see each other's take on a build, a color. Like George Ramos, he just posted a video up, Vision 124. He just posted a video up with my Belvedere and Clifton's Belvedere, his Belvedere, and Nick Sedone's Belvedere. We all did the same kit build last year, and we all showed them together at the New Jersey N&L, and then another show in Maryland 2 weeks ago. And it was pretty cool to have, see 4 builders all do their own thing with the same kit and not to be the same. That's one thing I enjoy about the hobby is, we can all have fun together, do our own thing together, and then we can share what we do amongst us all. Okay, that's one headlight done. I might need another coat. It looks a little thin up here. I'll let that dry for a minute and get another coat in there. And then let's see, this side here might be ready for another coat. Yeah, it looks a lot better. Alright, I'm going to test fit the headlights and see what the headlights look like in there. I meant to say, yeah, thanks, Solemn. Did you get a chance to look at the video, or have you just seen the pictures? Yeah, thanks, Solemn. Yeah, George is a remarkable man. He can take some great pictures, and he does some great videos. Really thankful for a friend like that in the hobby. Another really good picture taker is my buddy Pete over there at Scaled World. He knows how to take some pictures. Him and his wife are very good at some great picture taking. It's like me, I get excited to do the pictures, but then, and I don't know how to get the light. You know, I mess up on the lighting or the angles, you know. I like to do the building and let other people take the pictures. What do you guys think? Got the one headlight in. Now we'll get the other one in. And what I'm doing, here's the headlight itself. I left it thick. What I ended up doing, I was having issues with the headlight. It seemed like every time I was, let me get the other one out. Every time I was trying to thin the headlight itself out, every time I was trying to thin the headlight out, see how it fogs, especially really bad right there in the corner. And what it was doing is when I'm sitting here polishing it, trying to get it to polish back out, I guess I was stressing the plastic. I was bending it too much, and it put those stresses in it. So see how thick this one is now? See if it can show you. So they're a lot thicker than what I had this one. But at least now I didn't get all the bends. And what I ended up doing, I ended up having to thin. I ended up taking my Dremel in there and I thinned all that out. Now I get to fit. And then what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking a fat Sharpie marker, one to focus. I'm taking the fat chisel tip, and then I just go along the edge like this and giving it that rubber seal look like the real headlights have. Another channel that I like to watch a lot is Tom Ritter. He runs the Scale Modeling channel, and he also has a store, Scale Productions. And you guys can go over there and check out some of the way he details. And this is a detail that I picked up from him several years ago. And when you put it in place, it makes a really, really big difference on the look of the build. And it looks like I might have to sand this down a little bit. Yeah, it's too tight. That's way too tight. Get a little bit more. Once I did that. My problem is, guys, I use a high solid clear. So there's only 2 coats of clear on this car. But since it's an automotive grade and it's a high solid, it builds up as it hardens. So sometimes you have to, the body parts that fit on later have to be modified. But see, there that is now. And this car is actually racing red from the 2017 Mustang. The paint code is PDQ, but it is showing orange right now. Now, this is the front end. And let me show you. Let me show you something else. This is one my daughter built. And that's the kit straight out of the box. And then here's my version. So you can see I changed the grills, changed driving lights, changed the lower blinkers, changed the hood, and all that. I like you guys chatting amongst yourselves there in the chat. So now I'm going to add tail lights. And I chose these little round ones. Now let's black out the trim on that. So these Sharpie markers will come in great. Hello, Pete. The Sharpie markers come in great. Don't be afraid to do detailing with the marker. I wouldn't suggest, trying to do big sections. Just use them to detail. Like right here, I just used the black one to go around the tail light piece. Just to give it detail. And you guys seen what I did with I'll get this in there. Now here's the tail lights, the rear end tail lights. Let me see where I could go with that. That sucks. So my idea with the tail light is to get that tail light to set right there like this. Get that tail light to set right there like that. What do you guys think about that? I'll have to get them in there, sectioned in there to where they're kind of even. But that's the tail lights that I've chosen for this. So let me get me out some glue. Then again, get me another mirror for glue so that way I don't get glue and paint together. And then what I'm using here is just I'm using a clear contact glue. Then what I'm going to do is I'll make sure it gets in there all the way. Might have got in there too much. Alright. Then you go in there, once you get them contacted in, then you go in there with a toothpick, and you go in there and you get that excess glue out of there. And then what I'll do after these right here get dry, I'll go back in there and I'll touch it up. But now I basically got it to the point to where I can start adding windows in. Another trick with the Sharpies, like I was going to tell you guys, I got the foil, you know, chromed foil, the marker light, and then instead of trying to do the paint, you can go back in there with your Sharpie and then you highlight it, and then there's your side marker light. Now I do a lot of detail work with the Sharpie. So we took in this rear end from the factory and then made my own. This right here is a custom made fin for the roof. This right here is a 2010 Mustang fin that I glued to the back here and then trimmed to fit where I cut. Well, basically now I got to detail. Yeah. So now I got to detail these subs so I can put the subs on the insides here, like that. I'm going to put one on each side. Like I said, not much of a how-to today, guys. As much as just sharing with what I was building. I showed you, I guess we showed you how to do the wash and use Sharpies for detailing, I guess. So I guess that ain't all that bad, I reckon. I haven't noticed anything on the frog tape, John. I don't use the frog tape, bud. No, John, this is 3M Automotive Refinishing Masking Tape. So let's see, where are we at? I'm gonna take the Molotow number 1. I bought this from the UMP, from UMP. It's Azu tape, and it already comes in these different sizes, John. So I use this to mask off my curves, and then I back tape it. What are you watching, Mason? Right now, guys, I'm just detailing these subs. A little bit off camera stuff because they're so little. There you go. I need a better camera view. Not so much. There's 6 sizes, John. But like I said, you're gonna have to pay for international shipping to you because they're in the UK. So what I would do, I would recommend you saving up your money. I love their sanders, so I have the whole set of their sanders and their tape. So what I would do is what I would do is I'd buy the ultimate sander package and the ultimate tape package. What are you playing, bud?
No, I'm watching someone play it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say too, you guys that are over in the UK that I'm friends with and that I follow, man, I'm sorry about all the stuff going on with you guys here lately. If more people built models, there wouldn't be all the craziness.
prisoners being stoical and fearless, suppressed twice as quickly. So that is very handy, because that means they're only going to have to spend half the amount of time in solitaire or whatnot. So if they murder somebody, you know what? You murder somebody, you're going to spend 10 hours in solitaire. If you're found with weapons, you're going to spend 3 hours in solitary. Found with tools, I consider tools a weapon, so same thing, 3 hours, solitary. Found drugs, solitary will be 2 hours. Luxuries, I'm not too concerned about luxuries. We'll just do lockdown for, I don't know, 2 hours, lockdown. Intoxication, same thing as found luxuries. Let's do lockdown for 2 hours. Serious injury, again, you are going to go up in penalty, right? So if you come in as a low...
I'm trying to just get some details in there, guys. Maybe I can change the camera view. What sucks is I can't answer your guys' questions when the camera's in that view.
Can I use this trash?
Yeah. Yeah, Jason, that's what I was going to show you. Okay. Thanks, Boomer, for coming in. Let me show you this, Boomer. Alright. If you wanted to make the 99 Suburban, you're going to need the Revell Cadillac Escalade SUV. You're going to need the 99 Chevy truck. And what I done here on this one, just right here is the 99 cab all the way up to here. And then I cut it straight across. Then I cut this part off. I cut the back door and roof, like I glued the back door on, and then I cut the roof off. You can see that line right here. And I cut it down this way off the Cadillac Escalade. Then I glued it to the truck, and then I cut the truck bed up and put it in there to make the 4-door, the 99 style 4-door. But if you wanted to do the Suburban, basically all you got to do is give it more on the rear end. So you'd probably have to get 2 of the Cadillac Escalade kits. Cut one right here so you have your wheel well and your door. And then cut the other one just back here where you can make it just a little bit long.
Destruction, we'll do solitary again for just a few hours. Nothing too crazy there.
And I hope that answers your question. But this right here is the cab for the 99 forward. I cut right at the door forward. This right here is from the Escalade, and I cut right at the rear door. Added it on, and then I cut it out and added the bed, and then I remade my line. You can still see the field door still needs to be filled in and stuff. But this is something I started a long time ago, and I just never got back to it. Then you're going to have to trim in your tail lights from the truck. Right here is part of the door, and then part of the truck tailgate instead of the Cadillac one. Does that help you, Boomer?
Expand that more, don't worry about that. I feel like we're going to do the yard, a little bit bigger of a yard right here. And see, 6 solitary cells is going to be fine. Is that going to be enough? It probably won't. Although, I'm kind of thinking maybe every cell block will have their own solitary, but that usually doesn't work. because they usually end up mixing. People from this cell block more than another one.
All right.
And I'm feeling like we probably should do a shakedown. Let's do that.
Yeah. You know what? Boom. It's only plastic. You'll never know what you can and can't do if you don't attempt it. The worst thing about it is the cost of the kits. But make it to the best of your ability if that's a kit that you want to produce. And if you want to try your hand at cutting more stuff up first before you do what you really want to do, that's great practice, you know. I can't seem to build them straight out of the box. I always got to do something to make it my own. And I've learned that over the years of just wanting to be different from the next guy on the table. And basically, that's really all you got to do is step up and do it. Because if you think about it, if you think you can't do it, yeah, there you go. But I have a bad feeling if I overthink it or if I tell myself I can't complete this, then you know what? I'm not going to complete it because I'm not even going to attempt to do it. So sometimes you can psych yourself out. You know what I mean? You can actually put too much pressure on yourself and you lose your motivation to even get it done. And I've seen that a lot in the hobby where somebody said, well, I thought about doing that, but then I didn't think. And then once you say that, you know, you can already tell that you've talked yourself out of doing it, you know. Because I didn't think I could do it. So I just didn't even try it.
Now, these jail doors do slow stuff down because they do have to wait for security. So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to build a security room, and then we're going to attach the revolving or the remote doors, just so that we do not actually need the cops, the guards to come down here and manually open these doors every single time. Because right now they have to do it for the canteen, the cell, they have to do it over here for this door, for the workers, they have to do it for the yard, right? So our 10 prisoners, or our 10 guards are preoccupied a lot with just opening doors for guys, which is no bueno. They could have better use of their time if we got those remote doors. So that's something that we're going to try to do. Now that being said, we should be done with the dogs. We are also done with the intelligence, and we are also done with the extra grants.
If you guys hadn't seen yet, Clutch put up a new video today. I'd been wondering about seeing if he was okay, knowing that he has some health issues, and he already mentioned that he don't breathe so well during the heat of the day, and I just hadn't seen him on, so I'm glad to see him back, and he posted some videos today doing some stuff to his Impala. Some very useful stuff, guys. He's making realistic A-arms. Dang it. So if you guys got some free time, go over there and check out Clutch over there at Lucifer's Mechanics Garage. He's got a new video up. And Sheldon has still been producing. Sheldon hasn't done too much live this week, and neither has Mike over there at Gothics. YouTube has been playing up for a while, guys. But there's a little bit more detail to that sub, and they're about done. I just got to do some trim work, and then while those are drying, I'm going to flock the floor.
We'll put some more benches and phone booths and stuff like that over there once that's done. What I think I'm going to do, I think we're going to make this area over here now part of like the staff area. So let's do building brick. Let's come down here. I do want to extend this too. I'm thinking we'll probably extend this. Let's use plywood, right? So we're gonna do. That's gonna be 1, 2, wall, 1, 2, wall, 1, 2, wall. Let's leave a little bit of a gap. So we're actually gonna get rid of that. So we're gonna do something like this. The wall is gonna come down here. And do that right there. Yeah. So that's gonna be our foundation right there.
Jay, I really hope you get your Mustang done.
Right there. We'll finish this over here. Hopefully that works. Let's go ahead and do that as well. Hopefully that'll just build it all right there. Probably will because we have this fence over here.
Alright. And then what I'll do is I'll let those tack up and dry up for a minute.
Not connected here for some reason. I'm pretty sure I did that. Anyways.
Because distilled water doesn't have any additives in it. Your tap water will have chemicals in it to make it usable. And you always know when, people say, where there's a boiling order or something, that's because something has gotten to the water and they haven't treated the water yet. So basically, yes, this is all Vallejo paint. This right here is a dark gray. This right here is a flat red. I got red leather right there. And I used, you have 16 Mustang kits. Which ones do you have, Boom?
We're going to build a wall over here. Dang it. Oh well. We're going to build a wall over there. We're going to make this our continuation of the hallway.
Now I'm going to get some flat black in there.
We'll do something over
And then I got to get some.
We're going to use this area for over here. Maybe we'll do some more jail cells.
Where'd my knife go?
Not 100% certain there.
I love it. I can't see when I have my spectacles on. And I can't detail without them. It's kind of a wish wash.
There and there. And yes, they're going to need the utilities and all that good stuff.
When are you headed to the show then? If you stay up all night Friday, because I can't forget, are you in Wichita or Salina? Boomer, I have 79s, 84, the 90s, the 06s. Man, I got all kinds of Mustangs, bud. Mustang's one of my favorite and one of my fun subjects to build. They're not everybody's cup of tea, but for me, I could do my own thing with them. All right, here This right here is what I'm going to consider the done subs. See if you guys can see those. Oh yeah, Oklahoma, that's right. Now, Mark told me he wasn't coming this year. A new job, and you know, he got married last year. He said he's not coming. I don't know if Fonzel would come or Eric is coming, but I forgot you guys were from Oklahoma. You know who I wish would come back, Jay? I miss Max. Man, he could, for a big old guy, you guys, there's a guy that models with us out of Oklahoma. His name is Max, and the guy is huge. I mean, his fingers are probably 2 of mine. You know what I mean? But when you see the way this guy builds and airbrushes, years ago, he took the Altered Nomad wagon kit. Max took this kit right here. I've had this forever. He took this Altered Nomad kit right here, and he made this car here, and he took another one, cut it in half, made a boat and a trailer. They were all painted the same way. He's done fire trucks that are just super, super detailed. And sometimes you look at it, you look at someone's appearance, and you think, man, there's no way he built 1/24 scale. He's got to build 1/8 or something like that, just because his hands were so massive. And it's like, you know, literally Max, his hands are so big, you wouldn't think he would be able to do the little details and stuff in here. And his work is amazing. And the guy, a super great guy. He can airbrush. Oh my God, the way he can airbrush. He does airbrushing for a living, like on motorcycle tanks and mailboxes. And we're talking on the mailbox, he did the Wizard of Oz for his next door neighbor on a mailbox. And you should have seen the detail. In the tornado, in the scene where Dorothy, he has the spinning house on the mailbox, and the tornado and the scarecrow and stuff, and it's like when they're all in the tornado coming back from Oz, you know, when she wakes up on a mailbox, mind you. Now, you know, regular standard issue US mailbox. The way he did it like an invisible United States flag, like a ghost flag over the top of an eagle on a Harley tank. And God, the guy is awesome. And that's like Jay, he's going to drive 6.5 hours, almost 7 hours to the show. We got guys that come in. There's a guy that comes in every year, Jose. He was coming in from Puerto Rico, but he ended up buying a house in a few states over from me now, so now he don't have to, you know, travel as far. But man, our shows have people come in from California. You got Jimmy Harrison and the crew from Colorado that come in. And it's just a great show. A bunch of us come in there. A bunch of big names show up there. It's just a great, super great contest. And as you can see, even though Jay is gonna be my competition, he's also my friend. We can share ideas back together. We can pitch ideas for one another's, for each other's builds, and that's why it's not about the win. It's about the success that you personally have in the hobby. Whether it is getting a trophy, or it's having Jay as my friend follow me on YouTube, or you know, the relationships that we built over going to the same shows for, you know, 15 years, you know. It's just, the hobby is great, guys, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So let me get, what time is it? Yeah, well, I've been on here, guys, for about an hour. Not really did a whole lot. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to get back focused on here and get to this. And you guys have a great day. Jay, I'll see you in a few days. For you other guys that are coming up and attending the show, travel safe. Be ready for a good show. Like I said, my only downfall this year is I didn't have enough saved. But I'll be able to get the hopefully I get the Mustang done. I got the Belvedere wagon back today. From George, the one that I had sent to the NNL East. I got it back today. I have MJ's Pinto rebuild done. I have my Quick Build 67 done. I'll have the BMW, small scale BMW done. I got the Scaled World RX2, the Scaled World S2000. I got the rusted up, beat up Fairlane done, and I'll have the rusted, beat up Chevelle wagon done. So right there's a pretty good 9 builds for this year. I'm blessed that Pete at Scaled World sent me the 2 builds back so I could take them this weekend and share. Sadly, I think the paint had some reaction on the RX2 because over the course of the winter, let me try to get it. Over the course of the winter, I got solvent pop in it. And I don't know if you guys can see it on camera, but you'll be able to see it at the show. See the trunk, how it looks rough. That solvent pop, something reacted, and I washed the resin fine, and it looked good. But then all suddenly it started to pop. But it didn't do it so much on the sides as it did just the top flat areas. I was half tempted to sand this down and weather it like it was an old build somebody pulled out of parking lot that was just setting, and they made a drag car out of it, but I fully detailed it. It's a great looking build. It's just I don't know why it popped like this, and since it popped, once I start sanding it, if it breaks loose, then it's done. You know what I mean? I won't be able to fix it. I'd have to strip it. But what I was thinking about doing is just weathering it. But I don't know, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I got this one. I want to take it just like it is because, man, it's such a good looking build. But once you get right up on it, you can see the reaction. It's a 10-footer. From 10 feet away, it is perfect. You walk up to it, and then you're going to see the damage. So I don't know exactly what I'll do just yet. My main focus was to get the wagon done, but other than that, I'm excited. Maybe the guy that's bought stuff over the last few years sees something that I have this year, and he'll pick it up, and maybe that'll give me a little bit of spending. But as of right now, I have just enough to enter. But that's how it goes sometimes. The van breaking down was more important than me picking up a few things this year. But oh, you're going to see it. It was like that year we fixed your bill. It's like that year we fixed your bumper. It really wasn't that noticeable, but you noticed it, and it drove you crazy until we tried to fix it. And that's what this car is doing to me, bud. It's something that maybe like you said, you'll make you'll make your point, and maybe I'm being too critical, but you know, this was a build for a guy I consider damn near my best friend. I was very excited and happy with it when it left. It went to a few shows. Even George Ramos, he had this for a few weeks, and he didn't notice it. I noticed it when I got it back. So I don't know if it happened just from setting. We got this body from a resin caster that we really didn't ever deal with before. So I don't know if it was something that, my paint is all automotive paint. So, you know, I'm using some pretty strong solvents, virgin lacquer thinner, polyurethane clears, polyurethane paints. So maybe it had a chemical reaction to the resin, or maybe it was just a resin that no matter if you wash it and prep it, maybe it was still gassing out. But it kind of looks like if you're 16 years old and you're starting to get acne, you know, they're not really pimples yet, they're just a bunch of bumps all over. And I'm thinking what it is it gassed. And when it gassed out, it lifted the paint, the primer into clear. So I'm afraid if I sand it, wherever it lifted is just going to go straight back down to the bare resin. You know. But this thing is sick, man. I love that yellow. We did it. We did the turbo. It's got the Mazda RX-7 motor in it. You know, it was a great. Yeah, man, this right here is such an awesome build. The chassis is all done. You know. Now, what'd you say, Boomer? Let me see what Boomer's question is. I have a question about a motor, 572 big block. What do you have, Boomer? And what's sad is Pete is a great guy at Scaled World. He's super happy with this build. I don't want to let him down, so I don't want to ruin what I have here. We got some more projects we're going to do together, and the next project that we do, I'm going to make sure that it don't have these issues. I think I'm going to have to, I'd hate to do this, but I think I'm going to break down, and maybe I have a chemical reaction inside my paint area, so I might have to purchase new clear, new reducer, new activator, you know, get that stuff changed, because it's very upsetting. But it didn't happen on the S2000. It hasn't happened on my green Fairlane, but I was having issues with this wagon with some bubbles, and I'm thinking maybe it might be due to heat. Like maybe I put it in my heat box and the heat box was too hot. But I didn't see these when this car was first done. And it's nothing that Pete did by handling it. It's nothing that George did by handling it. It's all under the paint popping up. So, I don't know. That's having no spending money, and then the way this right here turned out is my only two downfalls, unless I can't get the wagon done. I was talking to George today, and, you know, it seems like some of our funnest builds are the rushed ones, you know. So I'm having fun. It's looking good. Hope to see you guys, and I'll see what Bill said. You know, Bill, I'm thinking that might be the case. But, dude, I washed it, soaked it, washed it again, prepped it. It was good. It was so good before all this stuff came. I mean, nice, clean, super flat. You can't feel it. You can see it. Is what sucks. I guess you can feel it just a little bit. But maybe, you know, Heartland, the way those lights are, the way the lights are, you might not even see it. You know what I mean? You might not even see it. I can put it right there. But see, that's another thing. It is a 4-cylinder. So I can go in the tuner class, but I don't know with it being slicks if they'll make me go to the drag class, because it won't be Pro Street. But I think I'm gonna aim for the tuner class, and then see what they say. You know, we'll just see what happens. It was a guy that's not selling stuff no more. No, I've done several different resin bodies, and this is the first one that's reacted like this for me. Well, guys, it's about that time. Thank you for listening to me. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll be back next week and let you know how the show went. So, this is Minnie. I'm done for the day. Be careful, you guys, on your way up, and we'll see ya. Later, guys.